Today, we're playing poker in one of the most unique locations yet, Cantaritto's Taqueria, a Mexican restaurant hidden in the Chicago suburbs. The drinks are flowing, the food is incredible, and the biggest action players in the area are all here to put their chips in the middle. I guess you never know where you're gonna end up on a Wednesday night. If you guys remember the poker game we ran in a Chicago barbershop a while back, this is the same group of guys. One of the friends owns a Mexican restaurant nearby, and tonight we turned it into our battleground for some 500 cap 1-3. We get into the action straight away with King Jack offsuit. My content producer Lucas, who lives in the Chicago area, raises it up to $15, and there's a call to my right. I'm gonna 3-bet to $45, and Lucas is not gonna miss this opportunity to put in the call, and we're gonna go 3 ways when Vic puts in the call as well. The flop comes 9-8-4 with 2 diamonds, and the action checks around. The turn gives me top pair with the king of hearts, and now that I made top pair, I finally go for some value and bet out for $100, and both Lucas and Vic one by one fold their cards. So a nice start here, up off of my $500 buy-in, and I'm gonna raise it up to $25 with pocket kings now from the hijack. 3 players put in the call, so we're going off to a flop with $103 in the middle, and it comes 6-5-4 rainbow. The action checks over to the player on my right, who fires out for $30, and I debate going for a raise, but ultimately decide just to call. I think anyone at this table is capable of having a hand like 7-8, 6-5, 5-4, or a set, so I'm gonna play this hand cautiously, even though I have a very strong hand. This $30 raise gets rid of 2 opponents, so we're going heads up to the turn, which comes the 9 of spades. My opponent does not slow down at all. He fires out for 3 green chips, which is $75. And you're probably wondering, Wolfgang, you play much bigger pots than this. What are you even thinking about here? Well, if the story is making sense that he has a better hand than me, it doesn't matter if there's $200 in the middle or $2,000. I'm gonna try to make the right decision. So I end up folding my cards. My opponent tells me he did in fact have 7-8 offsuit, so a great disciplined fold there. Saves another $75, and we avoided a cooler.
Tell the people, oh, you don't want to be into this, right?
All right, we pick up pocket kings again, and I promise this time it goes the distance. I open it up to $20. My buddy Jake across the table 3-bets me to $60. And who's that in seat 9? None other than Chicago poker legend Mung. And if you play poker in the Chicago area and you haven't run into Mung, well, I feel bad for you. She is great action. She's an awesome person, and of course had to get invited to this game. She calls us $60, and I'm sorry, Mung, it's not going to be $60 for me. I jam it all in for $340. Jake folds his cards, Mung snap calls, and let's run it out from here.
I'm in trouble. You have queens? Oh no. You have quads?
Oh, fuck!
Oh, fuck. No.
That's not what it means.
Thanks for coming, Mung.
Pocket 8's no good, Mung. You're gonna have to do better than that to beat my king. $744 is my reward, and Jake told us he had king 6 of diamonds. So good action early on in the session. I'm up nearly $300. I decide to put in the call with 7-8 of hearts. The player to my left raises to $26, and there's a call across the table from seat 8. I have a suited connector. I put in the call, and the flop comes gin, you might say. King, queen, deuce, bang! Arriba! We flop a flush. All right, you guys, I promise I'll never do that again, but we're in a Mexican restaurant, so don't fault me for that. There's a bet for $30 and a call, and because I just have the 8 high flush, I decided to raise it up here, right now. I don't want to see another heart. I make it $100, and both players fold their cards, so we're taking down a pot, but I feel like there could have been a little bit more meat on the bone. All right, Cody opens it up to $14, and I put in the call with ace-9 offsuit from the straddle. The flop comes king 4-3 rainbow, and he c-bets for $25. I decide to float Cody. This is a fun game. If he shows weakness on the turn or river, I might try to take it away. But when the turn gives me a pair of 9s, now I'm trying to get to a showdown with my showdown value. He fires out for $50, and I'm just not going to believe him just yet. I toss in the $50, and the river comes the jack of clubs. Action goes check, check. We might be good here. I turn over the 9, but then he turns over king 3 of clubs. It's going to be pretty hard to beat 2 pair on the flop. Surprised he didn't go for a little bit more value on the river, although I think at that point I'd probably find the fold. All right, this next hand might be the most fun one of the night. I straddle up for $6. There's a few limpers over to Mung. Now remember her, she is going to be the main villain in this hand. She limps in for $6, a few more, and I have the ladies. And of course, the ladies want more money. I make it $40 to go. Who puts in more chips? Of course, Mung does. If it's good for $6, it's good for $40, right? Wrong. She now 3-bets to $130.
Guys get limp raise.
Yeah.
You're too young for that shit, monkey.
Of course, I'm going nowhere. I put in the call, and the flop unfortunately comes. I check it over to her, and surprisingly, she checks behind. The turn now comes the ace of spades, which I love to see because it's not a club. I think the best play is just to check it over to her and allow her to bluff.
Value betting my 7 deuce.
So when she fires out for $225, it is a weird spot, but I'm gonna have to put my chips in the middle. I have the queen of clubs as well. All right, $731 in the middle, and the river comes the 9 of spades. It seems pretty safe, so I check it over to her. She checks behind, turning over 9-10 offsuit.
You got there on me. How do you get there?
Go slow roll.
Such a slow roll.
You slow roll me.
Okay, let's look at it together, one by one.
Okay.
Okay, turn over the other one, Mom.
It's no queen.
Dirty, dirty stuff there, allowing your opponent that you're slow rolling to peel the last card. I gotta admit, that's some of my best stuff there. Pocket tens from the straddle. There's a few limps over to Mung, and she's trying to get some of her chips back and makes it $50 to go. I decide just to put in the call here. You might be wondering why I didn't go for the 3-bet. Well, I think a lot of the players are just gonna fold, so I'll be heads up with her anyways, and you know how that goes. When we're heads up with Mung, anything is possible. That's exactly what happens. We're going off to a flop here with just over $100 in the pot, and it puts out 2 overcards on the ace-jack 3 2 spades board. Check it over to her. She checks behind, a little bit more of the same on the jack of spades, and now we make the flush with a 7 of spades on the river. I go for a very small value bet of $30, and she turns over pocket nines with the 9 of spades. She asks to see one of my cards, so I show her the non-spade 10, and she snap folds her cards. What a great read from her there, just knowing her nines aren't good. We put back a celebratory shot of tequila and then look down at 7 deuce offsuit from the hijack. We're playing the game for $15 a person, so when Lucas opens it up to $15, I decide to put in the call here and try to take it away from these guys on future streets. We're going 5 ways to a flop here, so not exactly the most ideal situation when you just have 7 high, but we now have bottom pair on a king queen 7 2 clubs board. Daniel bets out for $20 when it checks over to him, and Cody in the blinds puts in the call. I call as well, looking to spike a 7, a deuce, or a club on the turn, but of course it's none of the above. It's the ace of hearts. Luckily though, the action checks through on the turn, bringing in the 5 of clubs on the river. When Cody checks it over to me again, now I think this could be a great spot to turn my bottom pair into a bluff. I have the deuce of clubs, so why not represent a hand like ace deuce of clubs or some other type of flush? There's $135 in the middle. I'm definitely not winning it with just my pair of 7s. Any combination of some king X, queen X, or ace X has me beat, so I decided to bet out for $140 here, the size of the pot, and I'm looking to get 2 folds in order to pick up $15 per person. Well, we get some news, and it's not the news we were hoping for. Daniel puts in the call, Cody folds his cards, and Daniel has king 9 of clubs. So yeah, he made the flush on the river. Unfortunately for us, he had the hand we were trying to represent there, and he's just way too strong to fold. He finds the call, and our 7 deuce down in flames. Oh well, pocket 4s now. There's an open to $15 from Mung, and I put in the call. I'm the only one to do so, so heads up to a flop in position on Mung. Seems like a great situation to be in, and the flop comes queen, queen 3 rainbow. I put out for $15 for value, and Mung puts in the call, and then I suggest something fun for the video.
Should we both turn over a card?
The card I choose of hers is the 5 of diamonds. She chooses my left card, which is the 4 of clubs. So at the moment, it looks like she has me out pipped. The turn comes the deuce of clubs, and I bet out for $20. Mung now raises me to $50. A little bit of gamemanship from her. This is what happens when you show a card. Fun stuff happens. So buckle your seatbelts. I put in the call. Is our pair of 4s good? Does she have ace 5, or does she have pocket 5s? Kind of an interesting leveling war here. In the river comes the King of Hearts. Really shouldn't change too much unless she has King 5 exactly. The river goes check, check, and let's just roll the table audio from here.
It's what?
Ace 4.
All right, the $6 straddle's on. I make it $30 to go with pocket jacks. Let's go, baby. And there's a call for $30 on my left. This might be the first time in existence that Mung has decided to fold her straddle, but oh well, we're gonna take it to the streets here on a King 9 rainbow board. Checking seems fine here. We're either way ahead or way behind, and Daniel takes the bait and bets out for $20. Of course, I snap call him. The turn comes the deuce of spades, and now he checks behind, bringing in the 10 of clubs on the river. There's $110 in the middle. I think I need to go for a little bit of value. I fire out for $35, and then he asks me if I'm recording.
Are you recording? Check back.
Yeah.
You are recording?
Yeah.
I guess being a vlogger has its perks. Daniel puts in the call trying to make the vlog, but $180 is not going his way. Pocket Jiggity's taking it down. Let's go. And finally, the last hand of the night, we get some redemption here with 7 deuce offsuit. There's a straddle and a limp. I make it $30 to go, this time with the suited diamond variety. Only Sergio puts in the call. He's gonna have to defend for the entire table. The flop comes pretty groovy for me, ace queen 6. Seems like a great board to bet my range. I fire out for $30 and he puts in the call. So Sergio got a little sticky and he's doing his best job to not surrender. Well, let's see what happens here, Sergio. The turn comes the 8 of spades. He checks over to me, hoping and praying I'll check behind, but with just 7 high, other option than to fire out 2 chips, one of which is a black one. It's $105. He thinks about it for a while here. He probably has some sort of pocket pair, maybe a queen 10, queen jack, 6, 7, pocket 9s, pocket 10s type of hand, and ultimately he folds. Let's go. No one is paying attention. I turn over the 7 deuce, and now they're all alert, upset that they have to give me 3 red chips. At the end of the day, we had some amazing tacos and drinks courtesy of Alex, Eleno, Vic, Sergio, and Jesus.
I get 5 booms on the boom meter.
10 out of 10, baby.
Hey, let's get the boom. Let's get the boom.
I got in for $500, invited some of the biggest action players around, and cashed out for $1,277. A profit of exactly $777, which I think is well deserving of a like and subscribe. If you guys enjoyed this video, there's 2 more on your screen right now, including the one from the barbershop game in Chicago with the same group of guys. Click on that to keep on watching, and as always, I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.
Bigger the nose, the bigger the penis?
I don't know. I told you I cannot confirm or deny. I don't know that.